Let's talk about that moment when you're about to price something and suddenly you are spiraling through every insecurity you've ever had. Who am I to charge that? Maybe I should keep it low so nobody judges me. What if they think I'm greedy? Let me just take another course so I can finally feel worthy enough to do this. Yeah, been there, lived there. Paid rent for far too long. Witches don't undercharge because they're new. Like, yes, I know that people got to start somewhere, but you undercharge because you are scared of being seen. And tarot calls you out on that bullshit. And I didn't undercharge because I lacked skill. I undercharged because for years I didn't trust myself. Back when I was a teacher, I could guide feral teenagers through multiple life crises, usually in one afternoon, and they would actually listen. Teenagers don't listen to anyone, but somehow they listened to me. I had the confidence, I had the presence, and I had the magic. But I just didn't believe that I could charge for it. And when I first flirted with the idea of coaching, I hid behind courses, certifications, and freebies, and all this bullshit prep. I was terrified that people would think I didn't know enough. I was terrified of being the fat girl who couldn't get her fucking life together, so who was she to coach? And my inner imposter was loud, rude, and a fucking liar. And then we had the roller coaster moment. I was dragged off the ride that I loved the most, mortified and crying. And that was the day that I said, no, I am done undervaluing myself in every area of my life. Losing £150 changed my body, but tarot changed how I priced my worth. Because it doesn't sugarcoat the truth. Anyone who's ever had a tarot reading will feel that. And it shows you where you're shrinking and where you're meant to expand. I teach my students this inside BS the Boss Witch and the Boss Witch Tarot School. Before you price anything, ask one question. What energy exchange is aligned for me today? Not forever, not in the next 5 years, not in the next year, today. Then pull a single card. From there, you start to layer it. You look at your current season, your energetic bandwidth, your real life capacity, your emotional availability, your expertise, your story, your transformation arc. All of that, okay? Give yourself a moment to go through it. And the number that starts to feel uncomfortable, good. Growth is uncomfortable at times. And the card is never about money. It's about the truth behind the money. Tarot shows you value in a way that your brain won't. For Pentacles, it shows you where you're building stability or focusing on lack. The Queens, they reflect visibility, leadership, resource flow, and worthiness. The High Priestess calls you out when you're playing small and not trusting your intuition. The Magician reminds you you're already equipped with everything that you need. Strength tells you to stop fucking hiding behind fear and tame that shit. And the Empress, she doesn't half price her power. She nurtures her worth to stand tall. You can't misread the mirror when the cards are that fucking loud. And trust me, my cards have called me out more brutally than any other comment section in the world could ever. When I fully merged coaching with witchcraft, properly came out of the broom closet, I remember pulling a card before increasing my prices for the very first time. It was the Queen of Wands. She's bold, visible, and unapologetically magnetic. She wasn't asking me to be humble. She wasn't asking me to stay small. She was saying, stop pretending your magic isn't valuable. That card changed the trajectory of my business. It gave me the nudge that I needed to stop playing at coaching and finally own the level that I was actually operating at. Tarot doesn't let you bullshit yourself. That's why it works. And even if someone hasn't lost weight, reinvented themselves 6,000 times, emigrated countries, or dragged themselves out of grief or imposter syndrome, they have experienced this. Sitting at their laptop, about to type a price, and immediately lowering it just in case. That tiny self-betrayal, that is what keeps witches broke. Not their skill, not their offer, not their market, self-betrayal. And tarot cuts straight through that shit. No fluff, no overthinking, just truth. Undercharging is just an energy leak. It's a confidence leak. It's a wealth leak. You can do all the money spells in the world, but if you are too scared to own your value, the magic has nowhere to land. And that is why tarot and business works. It shows you the aligned number and the energetic reason behind it. And that combination is unstoppable. So if you want to learn how to use tarot for pricing, clarity, timing, visibility, and money, start with either the beginner tarot tips, if you know fuck all about tarot, or if you know a little bit, you could use the 5 ways to make money using tarot without going live. Both is going to give you grounding that you need before you dive deeper inside the Boss Witch Tarot School. So if this stirred something within you, give it a like, pop your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more tarot meets business goodness. Your engagement really does fuel the magic.